Today on Commander Replay, we check out a deck with the only creature you need, Siege Rhino. How many Siege Rhinos does it take to screw in a light bulb? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing a very special deck today. We've got 4-color arbitrary Rhinos. Today's deck list comes to us from Tyler, aka Banana, a Patreon supporter of mine, and also a GoFundMe donor. And we are playing essentially 32 Rhinos Commander style. This deck is all about using Siege Rhino, and lots of ways to tutor for it, lots of ways to reanimate it. We got to pull from Eternity just in case it gets exiled. We ended up taking our free mulligan in this one. We had a 1-lander as our first hand, ended up keeping this hand. This one looks a little bit better. It's got some mana, it's got a Soul Ring, got some draw fixing with this Divining Top, so I think I like all of that much better. We've got a Cloudstone Curio, which is part of our combo, which seems pretty nice. And that'll bring it into our turn 1. We draw a Vivid Grove, and I think we'll go for the Scrubland right here. Play the Scrubland, play the Soul Ring, play the Divining Top, then take a look with the Divining Top. We've got Grim Tutor, Reanimate, Song of the Dryads. Definitely going to need that Grim Tutor to get our Siege Rhino. We'll hang on to the... anything that we don't draw we'll probably lose into the Grim Tutor. Maybe not the best, but it's probably a thing that will going to happen. So, yeah, we'll set the Grim Tutor up to draw that next turn. And we'll pass the turn like that. So we're playing 4-color partners today, and assumingly this is just to get some value out of Thrasios and some recursion out of Ravos should our Siege Rhino go down. So yeah, I've actually been meaning to play a deck like this myself. I just haven't gotten around to it. So many new commanders coming out that haven't had so much time for the pet projects of mine. So I'm glad we're getting to take a look at this today. Might give me some ideas for when I decide to build this deck. With that, we'll take a look at what our opponents are playing. First up, we have KR4N piloting Dragon Lord Dromoka. This is green-white dragons. I am really interested to see this because I know there are not very many green dragons. I can picture a handful of white dragons, but not nearly as many as red, blue, and black dragons. So this should be really, really interesting. Dragon Lord Dromoka, though, just by itself is a really sweet card. I mean, if you just ramp some lands and dump a Blackblade Reforged on it, you're probably going to have a pretty good time. So... yeah. And then next up we have Dave playing Balan Wandering Knight. This is his quote-unquote fair deck. I'm interested to see how he goes about this because he likes really powerful decks and tends to play combo decks, does not do a lot of attacking. So Balan might be a bit outside of his normal playstyle, but I'm curious to see how much he prioritizes things like fast mana, because that is a mainstay of the meta that we play in when we play paper, and you will see a Mox Opal right here, in addition to a Mana Vault and a Thought Vessel already into play. So he's got himself a turn 2 Balan. Seems pretty good. Now he just needs to get some equipments on it, and people are going to start losing life pretty quickly. So that brings us back to our turn. We draw that Grim Tutor that we were talking about. We have a Swamp in hand. I guess we just play the Swamp. Play the Grim Tutor. Get our Siege Rhino. Take a look with the Divining Top. What do we have? We have Bring to Light. Bring to Light seems pretty good. We get some ramp going with that. We are 2 colors away from that Bring to Light, though. Might be a thing worth our consideration. And we've got 2 clone effects on top of our deck, which we had a way to draw more of them. Maybe I'll put Bring to Light to the bottom of the pile and put the clone effects on top of it, just because it's going to take us a little while to get those colors of mana. So with that, we will pass the turn. Continuing on our opponents, finally we have Champion D'Thun piloting Kineas and Tiro of Miletus. Usually a group hug style commander, but there are other things you can do with it. They didn't tell me what they were playing before the game, so we'll see what happens. See if they brought some spice for us today. That'll bring it back to Dave's turn. He will lose some life to the Mana Vault. Here comes a Prowler's Helm. Yep, that's a pretty good one. Equipped creature can't be blocked except by walls. It's got me thinking now, you know, watching Dave play this and just thinking about the fast mana. I wonder how powerful you can make a Balan deck. If budget is no object and you just load it with fast mana and interaction. And he's going to send Balan our way. Yep, that's going to be 3 commander damage to our face. Not amazing. And the answer to that question might be, we're probably going to find out this game. Opponent's going to play a Ravnica Bounce Land, the Is It Boiler Works, and Bounce a Land. Did they mulligan like crazy? What happened over there? They must have mulliganed like crazy. And that's going to bring it back to our turn. We draw the Phyrexian Metamorph. Still can't do much blocking with the Prowler's Helm, but we can lay down the Siege Rhino, I believe. So, yep, there's white, black, and Wooded Foothills can get us green. So crack that, get some green. Probably should get some blue also. We seem to be missing green and blue, so Tropical Island seems like the natural choice right here. So we'll play the Siege Rhino, we'll get the Siege Rhino trigger, 3 damage to each of our opponents, and we gain 3 life. And then we'll take a look with the Divining Top once again. We've got Finale of Devastation, a land, and Rite of Replication. I think Finale to the bottom since we've already got the Rhino. Put the land in the middle and the Rite of Replication on top. We can get to 9 mana. Rite of Replication should more or less end the game. Here comes a Mirage Mirror for the Dragonlord Dromoka opponent, a card that I always talk about needing to run more of and never seem to do for some reason. Almost infinite utility in Mirage Mirror. Whatever the coolest thing your opponent's play is, get yourself a copy of it. Really wish it was 2/2 instead of 3/2. 3/2 does make it just a touch slow. Here comes a Shram Senior Edificer. Okay. Dave down to 2 cards, thankfully, but if he plays an equipment right here, he'll get another. Yeah, that might be the one issue with running a ton of fast mana in Balan, is that mono white runs out of cards really quickly. It does not refill them particularly well. So you're going to want to be looking at things like Mask of Memory, Sword of Fire and Ice, probably even Rogue's Gloves. And I think there might be like 1 or 2 other things that do it as well. Balan going to swing into the K&T. Sounds good to me. Catching a little bit of a break right there. But if he just slams something like an Argentum Armor, that would be pretty bad too. K&T gonna lay down a Signet and a Mana Crypt. Oh, why didn't they do that the other way? Can they get their commander? No, they're red short. Yeah, if they went Mana Crypt first into the Signet, I think they could have gotten their commander this turn. Anyway, that'll bring it back to our turn. There's the Rite of Replication. Gonna have to wait a moment on that one. Play the Vivid Grove. Let us get the... Phyrexian Metamorph has more utility because it can copy anything, so I think we just play the Mirror Image right here, since it is more restrictive in what it can copy. So play the Mirror Image, copy the Siege Rhino, get another Siege Rhino trigger. We'll send a Siege Rhino over to the Dragonlord Dromoka. We'll take a peek with the Divining Top. We've got 2 lands and Finale of Devastation. I think that means we're going to put a fetch land back on top. Not feeling like we need the Finale. I should probably take a look at what creatures are actually in this deck. But Finale to the bottom, and we'll put Misty Rainforest on top. Take a quick peek at the deck while we pass the turn here. Are there other cool creatures we can get? We can get we can get a Deadeye Navigator. That seems like a nice finisher with the Siege Rhino. Karmic Guide, if we need to bring it back for some reason, that's a thing to think about. Restoration Angel, Blanket. Okay, so probably Deadeye Navigator is really the finisher more than anything. And a Karmic Guide if we need to bring it back. Finale is any creature, right? Doesn't care about green. Yeah, any creature X or less. Okay. Sylvan Library trigger for our opponent. We may want to think about getting Thrasios at some point too, just so we can get a little bit of extra card draw going. We haven't really run into much in the way of card draw. Just a lot of filtering with the library. Opponent's going to use the Mirage Mirror. Let's see what they copy. Going to copy the Divining Top. Wanting to get a... They have a Sylvan Library. Why would they... That seems odd. That seems like an odd choice to me. Here comes Fleet Feather Sandals. Yep, another form of unblockable and haste. That one's particularly important should a board wipe occur and they lose all their creatures. So you just recast Balan, equip, and you've got Balan with haste. There are some decks where Fleet Feather Sandals are really good. Akiri and Bruce is one of them that I was playing for a while, and super, super good in that deck. Yep, gonna re-equip everything to Balan. It's a 3/3 with double strike and flying and unblockable, more or less. See where it's going. Yep, sending it our way. All right, this is going to be 9 commander damage. Well, it looks like we're going to have to send some Rhinos in his direction. Down to 33 we go. 9 commander. It does sadly make him like 1 big equipment away from just killing us. Like a Blackblade Reforged would be some trouble. Is there anything we can get that can like stop that? Here comes K&T. Yep. With the K&T trigger, we could draw and get the extra land. We could either draw or we could use the Divining Top, put the land into our hand, and get an extra land into play. And then, well, I guess we would just draw the Divining Top. I don't think that makes that much sense, so I think we'll just go for the draw right here. No lands for us. We draw the Misty. Take a look at the Divining Top once again. We've got a Raise Dead. Not so sure that we need that in this moment. Really could use some kind of removal. Do we want to draw a land or do we want to draw Finale? I think we draw Finale. Brings it back to our turn. Play the Misty Rainforest. Check out what we got for removal in this deck. I think Song of the Dryads is probably like it. There's a Pernicious Deed in the deck. Song of the Dryads we talked about. Reclamation Sage, yeah, sort of helpful. Opponent has 2 forms of evasion right now, so that's not the best. Primal Command is a type. Ooh, Austere Command. Okay, so there's a few pieces of interaction in the deck. There is not tons and tons. It's going to be our job to try to find our way into one of those pretty quickly. Would it be silly to... I don't know if we want to copy K&T. I was just thinking about it because that'll give Dave more card draw, and giving Dave more card draw is a good way to get ourselves killed. So, yep. Maybe we try to survive one more turn, play one more Rhino, and then finale, and use the Rhinos to try and kill Dave. That's probably the plan, right? Can we also get a Thrasios in play, or maybe a Ravna or something? Ravos or something? I don't think we need to pay the life right here. So we'll get a Phyrexian Metamorph. Copy Siege Rhino. Crackus Misty, we're going to need something with some blue and green in it. Breeding Pool seems good. Go untapped. Get Thrasios. And take a look with the Divining Top. Got Imperial Seal. That finds cards for us. Yeah, that seems like a place to be right now. So we'll put Ramp Growth to the bottom, Watery Grave in the middle, and Imperial Seal on top. I think we'll do a little attacking. And next turn, we might try to finale for the... we're either going to need to find removal with Imperial Seal or finale and try to take Dave out with Soulbond guy there. What's his name? Deadeye Navigator. So Dromoka down to 23, Dave down to 24. Our opponent's life totals are 23, 24, and 25. May not hold up, though, with the Sylvan Library trigger on the stack. We will see. Opponent kind of getting hosed by this early Temple of the False God. That's why I don't run it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. When you think about the fact that, like, a lot of Commander games are going, like, 7 turns now, especially in more powerful metas, Temple of the False God is not a place to be. Now, there are some exceptions. Something like the Lord Winggrace deck that has, like, 42 lands and has ways to manipulate lands. Sure. It's fine in that style of deck, but, you know, if you're running like a low land count deck, 34, 35 lands, you do not want to be running a Temple of the False God. Chances are you might only have 2 or 3 lands in hand, and if one of them is Temple, it's not going to be helping you. You might be dead before it gives you any mana, so... Would also not be sad to see a board wipe right here and just watch the game slow down, although Balan can actually rebuild pretty quickly, so it would probably have to hit artifacts also. So finally getting some mana out of that Temple of the False God. And here comes Dragon Lord Dromoka, yep. Can't be countered, can't cast spells during their turn, flying, and lifelink. Pretty good abilities right there. Really wish it was red and white. Would love to have that opponents can't cast spells during your turn clause on my normal decks. I thought about just building a Dragon Lord Dromoka for the combo meta that I play in, and just like playing just like the timmiest Voltron deck imaginable, but the fact that no one can counter any of my stuff would just be ridiculous. Just cast Dragon Lord Dromoka, then slap a Blackblade Reforged on it and try to give it double strike would be the name of the game. It would certainly be amusing. I think these things are like $15. They're more expensive in paper than I'd really looking to go out and buy, so... Oh, that's a Queen of Spike. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Yeah. Don't go our way? Oh, that's an Open the Armory. This could be a problem. Although, he's short on mana. He's only got 3 left. He needs 2 to equip everything. What did he get? He got... Oh, Colossus Hammer. Yep. Yep, someone's gonna die. It's probably gonna be us. Yep, okay. Colossus Hammer is a card. Yep, coming our way. Hopefully he forgets to do the thing. Nope, there it is. Yep, we go down. Alright, apparently Colossus Hammer with Balan, pretty good. So he just killed us in 6 turns. We were probably going to kill him on turn 7, honestly, although he had a lot of mana rocks. We had a Soul Ring start as well, so we were pretty quick. Yeah, that'd be the knock against this deck. It needs more removal. I know we shuffled away a Song of the Dryads at some point, but just the deck is really removal light, so it can certainly do things. Being able to stop your opponents from doing things is going to be a big part of the game. Here comes Kaidel for the K&T opponent. One's going to play a Shelter and draw a card. Yep. Tells me that they definitely don't have the answer right now. Again, Thaumatic Compass, probably a good addition to this deck just to stop some incoming damage. Oh, there's a Wrath of God. Wonder if they drew into that off the Shelter. That is definitely the one you want. Should have attacked with the Dragon Lord first, but... Opponent's going to copy a land with the Thespian stage. It becomes an Is It Boilerworks. So there's the Wrath of God. But Balan's got 8 mana right now, so they can recast, equip, and just blast someone in the face, and that'll take them out. Yeah, if you don't stop the artifacts. Oh, this is going to be a counterspell? Nope. Opponent just tapping out mana. Okay, someone else is going to die. By the way, that reminds me, someone at the GP Vegas, was asking me how strong I thought the Balan deck is. My answer is, you know, it's not going to do super well in like a high-power combo meta. But for something that's going to go probably 8 to 10 turns, I think it's just fine. However, with the printing of a card like Colossus Hammer, I think that does add quite a bit to Balan as a deck, because as you saw, Dave, with 5 mana, he tutored it, cast it, and equipped it, and I mean, in combination with the Quita Spike, we basically just died. So I think that is a huge pickup for the deck. Dave killed us on turn 6, so if you're playing a meta that's faster than 6 turns, it's probably not going to be great there, but if you're in like a 6 to 8 turn meta, I think it can certainly compete. The big thing, though, is that you're going to want to have a lot of interaction in addition to your equipments, you know. Maybe it's a Mana Tithe, maybe it's a Lapse of Certainty, maybe even just a silence someone out of their turn is going to be really good. Well, that's a card. Glacial Crevices. Sacrifice a Snow Mountain. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Does he have any Snow Mountains? Got one Snow Mountain. Got a turn to live. But yeah, if you are planning to play this in a high power combo style meta, you are going to want a lot of interaction. You're going to want to try to make as much of it one-sided as possible. As we saw right there, a board wipe didn't really slow this deck down. There's an assault suit. Nice. A board wipe didn't really slow this deck down once you have enough mana to play Balan and use the ability and you have haste. Then you can just board wipe for days. So like you could do like a heavy board wipe tribal kind of thing. Now, Austere Command might lose just a teeny bit of value. Still a great card just because you're not going to want to blow up your own artifacts ever. So for artifact removal, you might be on more of a spot removal kind of plan. Maybe some Disenchants, Demystify, Return to Dust, that sort of stuff. But there's also some great white removal and things like Council's Judgment because opponents can't respond to which target you choose. It's a weird card like that. There's one other card that does it too. So there's some interesting white removal out there that I think is pretty good. Aura of Silence is just a good card too, actually. So yeah, I think, you know, if you wanted to play Balan in a stronger meta, lots of fast mana, lots of ways to interact, and you're going to have to do your best to figure out ways to refill your hand. But there are ways to do it, and it does have me thinking now. Maybe this is something I might check out, because, like, I play a lot of Boros. I have just about every single one of these cards. Might not have a Quita Spike anywhere, but shouldn't be too hard to find. That is something to look at. I am short of Mox Opal, too. I've stumbled my way into most of the other pieces of fast mana. Mox Opal and Grim Monolith are the ones that I have not been able to make a trade for yet, so... Opponent gonna crack Myriad Landscape, probably getting more mountains. Just gonna drag this game out as long as they can. Yep, bunch of mountains into play. They got 4 mountains that they can sack to the crevasses. Gotta love Ice Age. Ice Age is a massive set, and even though I opened a ton of it as a kid, there's still cards that I just don't know or haven't seen. Dave gonna untap the Mana Vault right here. That's a Stoneforge Mystic. So if you go for like Argentum Armor, that could end this pretty quickly. And you use it to shoot the Glacial Crevasses. Goes for a Sword of the Animus, just gonna try to get himself more mana. Yeah, this is definitely where you want Argentum Armor. And this is what makes me sad. I really wish Balan was a red and white creature. Having access to 2 colors right here would open up so many doors. Red gives you damage can't be prevented effects, which is awesome for stuff like this. People that like to hide behind Glacial Chasm, Spore Frogs, stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I really, really wish Balan was red-white. Dave says he can't read. I don't know what the cards do. I just thought I'd grind it out. All right. Yeah, Argentum Armor. Whoop, that's a Sandworm Convergence. Creatures with flying can't attack, so Colossus Hammer does remove flying. And K&T gonna get themselves a worm at the end step. Here comes a Sigarda's Aid. Yep, that one's late to the party. Mana Crypt Flip for the K&T opponent. Well, if they don't do something soon, they might just lose to that. Here comes K&T back to play. Everyone's gonna get some extra card draw. And that's a Helm of the Host. Oh my. I wonder what they're planning to do with that. Not equipped to anything yet, so Trigger's gonna fizzle. Want to get themselves another worm? Yep. Here comes Trailblazer's Boots. At this point, you probably actually want to hold back equipments that don't do anything. Well, Shram gone? Yeah, okay, Shram is gone. Didn't see what that died to, but... Yeah, you probably want to hold back equipments that aren't adding to what you're doing, because... if an Austere Command or a Vandal Blast shows up, you want to have something left in the tank. Dave swinging in. Sword of the Animus will trigger. Opponent's going to sacrifice another mountain. 3 mountains to go. They have a Sylvan Library. They could find more. Dave's going to get himself a land off the Sword of the Animist. Mana Crypt Flip and Assault Suit trigger for the Balan. The Assault Suit trigger is a May. Dave declines it. K&T down to 13 on the Mana Crypt and Sylvan Library trigger. Opponent's going to equip the Helm of the Host to the K&T, get themselves a second K&T. Yep, this is going to be silly. Swing in with the K&T and the Worms. Uh-oh. Dave's in trouble. Going to block one with the Stoneforge Mystic. Yep. And Balan down to 12. Couple more tokens out of K&T, and Balan won't be able to block. So 2 K&T end step triggers and a Sandworm Convergence trigger. This is dangerous too, though, because you're giving Balan cards, and they're one piece of removal away from shooting this Glacial Crevice, and yeah. Also, a lifelink equipment would do a lot here, because if he just holds back and blocks, he would gain so much life from the incoming creatures that they would probably have to fog that or just not attack. So, yep, here's the Argentum Armor. Found it. All right, this is tricky, because Champion's going to use the Glacial Crevice before he goes to combat. However, Dave can die on the backswing. There's 15 power worth of Worms plus the 2 K&Ts. This is a tricky spot to be. You want another creature here is actually the thing that you want. And, oh, okay, he's got a Pure Steel Paladin. All right, that's the thing that you want. So put Haste and Argentum Armor and Basilisk Collar. That's going to get a free equip and draw a card. Plays a land. Plays Bladed Pinions. Equip creature as Flying and First Strike. So Pure Steel trigger, Sigarda's trigger. Yep, they've drawn some cards right here. Definitely moved the Haunted Cloak to the wrong spot. Is that Vigilance? Oh, it is Vigilance now. Okay, never mind. It's fine. Yep, Vigilance is the other one that'll help right here. Lifelink yet? Lifelink on the collar. Or lifelink is equipped to the Pure Steel Paladin, but didn't see what he shot. What did he shoot with the Argentum Armor? Oh, yeah. So he shot the Glacial Crevices with the Argentum Armor. Right. Yeah, he's a pretty good spot to win it this turn if K&T doesn't have anything. But they will draw a bunch of cards right here. Gonna equip the Helm of the Host to the K&T token. Interesting. Gonna get themselves another token. Gonna send in everything. Yep, it means they don't have anything. Their better bet right there would be to just like hang back, not do anything, and hope to catch something off the top with all these draws. Because now he's going to gain a ton of life. So you can activate Balan and put the Basilisk Collar on Balan and gain 24 life. Yep. And that's what's going to happen, although Pure Steel Paladin will probably die. So Dave goes up to 36, and some Pure Steel Paladin goes down. Then it goes to 24 after combat damage. So all the K&T survive, so there'll be a lot of card draw happening. I don't think there's any Shroud on here yet. Oh, nope, there's a Hexproof in there. Okay, Champion's Helm, so you need some sort of like mass bounce, or you need like artifact removal plus creature removal. Really limits the number of things that'll save you right here. Here comes a bunch of creatures. None of those are going to do it. Goes to the end step. 3 K&T triggers, Sandworm Convergence trigger. Did the game just crash? Okay, so we hit a little lag spike right there. Champion, the K&T opponent ended up scooping the game right there. So yeah, Balan ended up winning. The glaring hole in this deck became apparent, which is there's not nearly enough removal in this deck. So I think we're going to try it out for another little spin. I'm probably going to add just a bit more interaction to it because, yes, we got overrun by Voltron right there. So anyway, hope you guys liked the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.